What's good, everyone? It's Nigel here, Black Sex Apparel. Um, this has been a topic I've been meaning to address for a little while because I had a message about it, maybe about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Um, and obviously, I responded personally to the message, but I thought I'd make a video about it to try and educate some people on some stuff to do with nutrition and eating and energy and whatnot. Yeah, some of you may find it helpful, some of you may not, some of you may already know this. If you already do, then great. If you don't, then you may find this helpful. And I love giving this sort of information out to people, you know. So the question was, I'm going to paraphrase the question because I don't remember it verbatim. The question was to do with low energy. So he was experiencing, or is, hopefully he isn't anymore after taking my advice, but low energy after work, you know, and it affected him. He couldn't train. He said he found it hard to get to the gym, and most people do. They get home from work after a long day, a long shift. You find it hard to motivate yourself to get to the gym, and especially if your energy is low, then that's doubly difficult, right? To and force yourself to go train. What's the cause of this low energy? And it's really simple. It's the food we eat. Everything relates back to the food we eat. So if you're finding that you're suffering from low energy, like this individual was, you have to address the food that you're eating. Look at everything that you're eating because that has a direct effect on your energy. And obviously, if you're eating processed food, it's quite obvious that the nutrients in processed foods isn't as good as a nutrient in whole food, right? So if you're partial to KFC and McDonald's and pizza on an evening or during the day, or you take it into work with you for your leftover food. I mean, I hate seeing that. One of my pet hate is seeing people at work eating their leftovers from the previous day. Like, honestly. And listen, if you are in a financial situation where that's all you can do, then that's fine. But for the most part, it's just laziness and people being too lazy to prep their food, bring it into work. And once that laziness becomes a habit, just like if it was the opposite, if your habit was to prep your food and eat healthily, that would be the thing you do. If you were not to do that and laziness overtook you, then then obviously you would err on the side of being lazy, right? If you came in from work and you sat in front of the TV and watched Netflix and then went to bed, that's what you do instead of going to the gym. And when summer arrives, you're looking at yourself in the mirror thinking, what's happened? I don't look like I think I should. That's because you've been sat on your backside watching Netflix every evening after work instead of motivating yourself or finding the energy from the food you eat to get your butt to the gym. So everything that we do in terms of our energy relates back to the food we eat. It's about the fourth or fifth time I've said this. I want you to really understand this. You can do your research. I'm no nutritionist. I'm no doctor, but I've been in the natural bodybuilding game for long enough to have a really good understanding of how this thing works. I've trialed it myself. You know, I know from having done it for so many years. I don't need a certificate or proving that I've done an exam to to say this is the case. This is the case. You have to change the food you eat in order to change the energy output that you get. And that's it, really. And your energy affects quite a lot of things, right? So if you find that you're coming home from work and you haven't got the energy to go to the gym, that affects your personal life and you personally. If you're coming home from work and you're finding that you haven't got the energy to play with your kids, then that affects your relationship with your kids. If you're coming home from work and finding that you haven't got the energy to entertain your partner, your wife or husband, going out for a meal, etc., that affects your relationship. So now you see the importance of having good energy or having that energy. right? So, it's a huge thing. It's a huge thing. I can't put enough onus on that. It's huge that you do something about it and you do it immediately because it could affect your life long term. Not just your personal health and well being, but the well being of your family, your partners, and whatnot. So it's incumbent. It's on you to um to 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 look at what you're doing, what you're eating, and make that change. Motivate yourself to do it, right? And it's not a difficult thing to do. Like I said, cut back on your processed food. So instead of having mince pies and chocolate bar and a packet of crisp, a can of Coke, oh my, it's all just poison. I'm not saying don't. You could never have that. You can on the odd occasion, but please try not to indulge too much in eating junk food. Um, the effects of eating junk food is astronomical. It's poison. Coke, Diet Coke or full fat Coke or whatever you want to call it. I don't even know what is a full fat Coke. I have no idea what full fat Coke is. Is that Coke with everything in it, all the sugars? I have no idea. Um, but yeah, please try and avoid these things. Having a chocolate bar and a packet of crisp for lunch is not ideal. It's not ideal. So when you get home from work, if you could get into the kitchen, and prep your meals for the next day, and make that a habit, that a habit becomes a norm, and before you know it, you're getting home from work, your energy is high. Ouch! You want to get to the gym. Your kids, yes, dads, jumping all over you when you walk in the door. Like, oh, just give me 5 minutes. No, you're like, yes, let's go, kids. Let's go to the park. Let's go play. Let's do this, whatever. Imagine the effect that has on your personal well-being, on their personal well-being. Right. So again, I'm going to say it one more time. If you are suffering from low energy, that's most likely because of the food you're consuming. I'd say more than almost 100%, or I'll say 99.9% is to do with the food that you're consuming. So address that, and that will address your low energy. Now, that's it. Didn't get too technical. It's quite straightforward. Essentially, what I've told you to do is eat healthy food in a roundabout kind of way. So, yeah, that's what you should do. Make it a habit. And yeah, subscribe, please. I'm going to start doing more videos on these topics. Any topics you want me to address, let me know. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Nigel St. Louis. I am a bodybuilder, a natural bodybuilder, 2-time world champion, won multiple natural bodybuilding competitions in the UK and in Europe. So I'm well versed on what I'm talking about. If you're wondering who is this guy. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, hopefully I would see you guys on the next video. Please subscribe, please like, and I'll catch you guys soon. Take care. Peace.